Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Faster Way Coach Confessionals. Now, for today, I have a very special guest. Lee Bergen is visiting her son at college. My special guest is making his first ever appearance on the podcast, and he happens to be super duper chatty. So I anticipate this will be an extra long podcast. Just kidding. Who is sitting next to me right now?
It's me, your husband, Brandon Tress.
It's me. Okay, so Brandon is joining us this morning on Instagram. I posted and I said, I'm considering bringing Brandon onto the podcast for a coach confessional. What do you ladies want to hear about? And I got some really funny responses. I posted this only, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The first response I got, which we're not going to be chatting about, is managing in-laws. So I thought that was funny. I'm like, no, this is a health and wellness podcast. Yep. Oh, Lee commented already. She says, yes, talk about team, what you do and what he does. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to share a little bit about your role. I do get questions about that often. Does Brandon still work for Faster Way? And if so, what does he do? This person says how y'all share household, parenting, business, etc. roles. Someone says how the potato chip game is going. Yep, very appropriate. Men versus women fitness, goals and struggles. Gal says Fast Way behind the scenes, Brandon's role. Someone else says working with your spouse. I have one, results that men see in the program and differences. Okay, so all really good. I think what we're going to dive into is my personal routine when it comes to biohacking, supplements, fitness, and how it compares to your personal routine, which, we often joke around the time of the new year because you have like a particular holiday diet and still look the same 365 days a year. But before we dive in, tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background, and then what you do for Faster Way.
Sure. A lot of good questions. So, where do you want to start?
Just tell us a little bit about your background, like your educational and career background.
Yeah. So I have my degree in accounting and then I have my MBA as well. That focused in project management. I've been working with you since, I worked at the Air Force Base for 7 years, worked for you sort of part-time during that. And then when we moved to Florida, I worked full-time with you in the Faster Way.
So it's been 8 years now that you've worked for me full-time? With
Maybe
me?
9, starting 9. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Because it was before we really went hard with Faster Way. You worked for the agency as well. When we moved to Florida, I was fully focused on my digital marketing agency. And so you came in, you were a project manager for the agency for like 2 weeks and then kind of switched to more of a financial role. Oh, really? You were like managing Asana at one point, which is a project management tool. So your master's is in project management, that's your MBA. And then you have your undergrad in accounting.
Yep.
You and I have known each other, many people know, since elementary school. We were best friends growing up. We learned a lot together, from sports to student government leadership to how to run a youth group. So, and how many kids do we have together?
We have 5 kids.
We have 5 kids.
It's crazy.
Every time I tell someone that I have 5 kids, like the first question they ask is it the same dad? Like, are they all yours? Like, that's
how old are you?
The question now. Same dad? Are they all yours? It's just like funny. I don't know why that's kind of the main question.
Well, and they all look like us. So
exactly.
It's pretty clear.
They look so much like us. Okay. So yesterday we were filming a day in the life episode, which by the way, if you guys haven't caught these day in the life episodes, they are so good. We truly want to do like a Netflix documentary at some point, following the Faster Way HQ, following the life of myself and other people at our office. I think it'd be like wholesome, but still really interesting and fun.
Yeah.
Anyhow, look us up Faster Way YouTube, or we do have a landing page with the day in the life videos. So we were filming one yesterday, and as part of the video, segment, I was sharing a little bit about the current supplements that I'm taking, which is primarily NAD, B complex, vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C, a couple other things. And
Algae.
then, yep. And then we go later in the day to my concierge doctor, Dr. Brent Agan here in Tampa. And he actually gave me a hydrogen peroxide IV, which I've never had before.
Right.
That was really, really interesting. And
how do you feel now?
I was feeling really energized yesterday. Yeah, I for sure felt just great all afternoon. He said I would feel energized in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, what is this hydrogen peroxide? Am I going to start like foaming at the mouth? Like, is it going to bubble up through my blood? Like, I was really like confused, but allegedly it's good for like viruses, bacteria, yeast, parasites. So anyway, did that. And you were there with me, and there was an extra vitamin C IV bag. And the gal was like, Brandon, do you want to do the vitamin C? And you're like, nope. Have you ever done an IV in your life? You have? When?
I've done at least 2 or 3.
2 or 3? When? I don't even remember that. At the house with the mobile IV guy. Were you sick? I don't even remember.
I think so.
Okay. So you've done 2 or 3. I've done like 2 or 3 per week for
pretty much.
like years. And I take all the pills. Do you take any pills at all right now? Any supplements?
I take allergy medication sometimes if I'm sneezing.
Okay. What else?
I take biotin gummies sometimes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. With the gummies? Okay.
Yeah, and vitamin C
that
gummies.
Tracks.
Because they taste good.
Vitamin C gummies.
That's about it.
Okay, more like it's candy. So we could not be more opposite with our health routine.
Also, you didn't go over your nighttime routine.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. So that's
like 25 things.
Many, many things. There's more zinc, vitamin D. Let's see here.
Melatonin?
Nope, I don't do melatonin. I do magnesium. I do 5-HTP. I do GABA. I do iodine. I have gummies with some things that are kind of like calming. I actually just do kids gummies, so because I'm only like $1.10. But yeah, that's a whole other thing. And you kind of make fun of me because I'm like having so many different supplements and you don't have anything, and yet you get sick far less than I do.
That's true.
Which is just a huge pain in the butt. But tell them what you do get hit with very often.
Yeah. I don't get the cold so much, but I do get the stomach bug.
You get the stomach bug all the time.
Yeah.
If it can be had, you will have it.
Yeah, I get that. Those are no fun.
But yet I have not had a stomach virus, the norovirus, in years. You've had it at least 5 to 7 times in the past couple years, and I haven't had it.
Yeah, the one time before Christmas, I had it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I had it on that field trip I was a chaperone on.
Yeah. Brandon
not great.
Was a chaperone on one of the kids' field trips, and on the way back in the bus, he's literally quietly puking, not bothering anyone about it, just in his lunchbox, and then gets out in the rest stops and just pukes in the bushes. Doesn't tell anybody besides me. Nobody knows. It's like if he's around children, he's going to get the stomach flu. But the funny thing is, like, you don't get the amount of colds and viruses that I get, where I'm like constantly with the sinus issues. And now recently it's been viruses that want to become a cough, which is new for me. I haven't had that since elementary, but I like almost know for a fact that when you get the stomach virus, I'm just not going to get it. I don't even worry about it. Like a lot of times people like...
You take the activated charcoal, which might help.
Yeah, I do activated charcoal when you have a stomach virus, or I'll do some like grape juice, Concord grape juice, which allegedly can like help prevent. But
I'm getting queasy right now.
Is that why I don't get it? I don't know. It's like we have an opposite immune system where, I was just sick 2 weeks ago with a pretty bad virus and you didn't get it at all. Which it makes no sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. We obviously are in very close proximity to each other.
4 of the kids had it, so...
Yeah. So you don't take basically any supplements at all. You don't do the IV shots. You don't sit in the sauna every single day like I do.
Yep.
You definitely don't eat quite as well as I do. And yet, you have the immune system of an ox. It is not fair. But I was recently listening to a Huberman podcaster. He was being interviewed for a podcast called Diary of a CEO. And he was saying, we can do things like cold plunge and sauna and supplements and IVs and this and that. He said, but the reality is we are wired differently. He's like, every body is different. And I didn't want to hear it. It wasn't comforting or encouraging for me to hear. But he's like, some people like myself, Andrew Huberman was talking about it. He's like, I go hard in the morning and then I have a bit of a crash in the afternoon. I get depleted and I have to do like a little nap or da-da-da. And that's kind of how I am, where you are extremely stable on your energy. Yeah. I also have insomnia. I've had insomnia since I was in high school. I have to do like 17 different steps to sleep well. When you put your head down on the pillow,
I'm out.
It's not fair. Typically what happens is Brandon puts his head down on the pillow, eyes closed, and within like 15, 20 minutes, he starts talking. He loves to talk in his sleep. And that's right around the time I start falling asleep. So then I'm not falling asleep because he's like, the funniest he's ever done is like, he'll go through the drive-thru and like order things in his sleep. And he's very like confident too when he's like
a lot louder
talking in his sleep, like very confident.
One time I was rearranging pictures on the wall.
Yeah, he sleepwalks a lot too. In fact, I would lock him out of the room after I would have babies because
that's true.
I would get nervous that he would wake up and like grab the baby and go somewhere, which never actually happened. But there was some weird things. You did some weird stuff. Like I remember right after I had Lily, you were still in the bedroom with us and I asked you to like turn the air on and you went and like got a shower and then put your pants on. And like then came back to sleep. Yeah. And I'm like, that is not what I asked you to do at all. And I don't even think woke up through that time. So I was like, okay. Anytime I'd have a baby, I'm like, you're kicked out of the room. Because you have weird sleeping habits. You talk a lot in your sleep. You walk a lot in your sleep. I've gotten some video of it, but it's usually dark. So you can't really see a whole lot. Anyway, one time you did try to jump out of the window in Ohio. And I was like yelling. And then it just jars me out of bed. Because you're like trying to jump out of the second story window and open it up. And I'm like, what are you
I don't remember that one.
Go back. Even like last week, I had to get you to sit back down in bed. Man, we need you to do a sleep study, but it doesn't impact Brandon's sleep enough that he would even be motivated to do a sleep study. It's not even negatively impacting him.
I'm rested.
Yeah, you're super rested. So completely opposites. I do 45 different supplements, sauna every day, super clean eating, all these different protocols. I'm like doing my IVs. I'm doing, stem cell. I'm doing exosome injections and you do zero.
Yep.
None of it. And yet somehow just great sleep, great energy, great immune system. Answer me this. Why? That is just
good question.
Yeah, I will say one thing, and we don't have to get into it because I don't want to embarrass you, but you do have some skin issues.
A little bit.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I did go to the dermatologist a few times. So,
yeah, but you for sure have like eczema.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
It's like an eczema. So there is something about your gut health that's like not quite right.
Right, yeah.
Where I don't have any of that type of issue. So, and you have to use like a steroid cream.
Yeah.
It's just, we just have the complete opposite issues. I've never had, that. It's like, how can you live in close proximity to someone?
Right.
Literally, I mean, not only have we been married for however many teens of years, but we've been best friends and just since elementary school. It's like, how do we not just share the same microbiome? I mean, you would just assume that we share the same microbiome. It's
pretty close, yeah.
But then there's the whole concept of I birthed all 5 of our children. They are, from our gene pool. And yet even they have very different immune systems and body types. Like Cole, he has his little like middle school chub. He's in 5th grade and he's just like a little bit of a different body type. Emma's super lean. She's always been super lean. Yep. Lily is like Miss Muscle. I mean, just the cutest little gymnast body you've ever seen. She's like obsessed with cheer. She's got her little 6-pack. And then JJ kind of looks a little bit more like Cole. And then Ty, I don't know about Ty. I think he's just going to be like a rugby player. Yeah. He is like solid, just so solid. Yeah. But what are we doing this fall to ramp up immune system for the kids so that I don't get sick 100 times?
That's a good question.
Why don't you share some tips? This is where you share tips.
Where I share tips. They wash hands as soon as they go home from school.
Yeah.
Send them right to the sink, change their clothes, get that stuff off. Because they're going to be around sickness at school always. What do we have them take? When they get home, they take their vitamin C gummies, elderberry. I think we have a zinc, maybe a D2. What else are they taking? They have a probiotic.
They are doing a probiotic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So say those again. So when they get home from school, they wash their hands and they strip down because their school is an absolute cesspool. As are most schools. As are most schools. I'm not saying it's only our school. And then you said they have a D gummy.
Yep.
They do C
elderberry.
probiotic, zinc. Is it a zinc liquid?
I think so.
I think it's a zinc liquid. Yeah. So they're doing that. Are they doing the Juice Plus gummies?
They have been. Yeah.
Okay. So they have the Juice Plus gummies, which is nutrients from fruits and vegetables. And then talk a little bit about their eating habits.
That's a good question. Yeah, we're always fighting about snacks and the big kids eating the little kid snacks. But yeah, I mean, we always have good protein available. We always get them good snacks right after school because I think Lily has lunch at like 10:30 in the morning.
It's so ridiculous.
It doesn't get home till 3. So, I mean, they're going to be starving by then. So usually we have meat sticks and water. They like our hydration.
Yep. They've been drinking our hydration, our new product. Emma passed it around to her cross country team, which was cute. Cole's excited about it to bring in his water bottle at school. So Emma takes leftovers for lunch. Besides, I guess this week the microwave at school was broken. So she was having like cold stew. She's like, oh, Mom, I was having cold stew. I'm like, why were you not heating it up? Oh, the microwave's broken. I'm like, that's honestly terrible that they can't,
Well, she said there was another one. She just didn't want to have to walk across.
Okay, so that's her fault then. But yeah, she tries to take leftovers. She does try to take like fruits and different things because she's in cross country and needs a lot of fuel. Cole, I'm not really sure. He packs his own lunch.
Yep.
Does he make himself a sandwich or something? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cole he packs his lunch and then he keeps the girls organized and he gets the water bottles for them in the morning and kind of keeps everyone on time and gets them out the door.
He likes doing a protein shake after school too.
Yeah. He does a protein shake. Yep. And then what about Lily? I feel like Lily and JJ are the kids that could just like eat nothing and drink a cup of juice and just have unlimited energy. Like, I don't understand it. Some kids are like that where they don't need any food. And I'm like, how? Even, we give them like really good food for dinner and they just eat like 1 or 2 bites and then they're done. It's it's a very odd phenomena that I don't understand. Ty, he eats more than anyone currently listening to this podcast. Just end of story. Like, he's like a garbage disposal. Like, when we were in Costa Rica and our nanny there, she's just rice and beans and chicken every meal, making him new things, gluten-free pancakes, chickpea pasta. The boy eats so much. He is 2 years old. I do not understand it. It is insane. He eats just like the size, like as if he was like a 16-year-old boy. So he is going to eat us out of house and home when he's older. But yeah, we try our best to be sure the kids are eating healthy foods. Now, do they like the gummies? I don't know why you keep buying these like gummies for them.
They're organic.
No. Just because it says organic on the package.
It's healthy.
We do need to be better about just the snacks. Snacks are for babies. They don't really need snacks. They just need real food. So we do need to get better about that. You are the main offender of that. You order every single week these like gummies and stuff. They just don't need that stuff.
They love it.
We're having a couples quarrel here live on the podcast. Yeah, that is one thing that I want to cut down on, especially if we want to keep their immune system high. But then, at school, they're just getting constant treats and birthday parties. So it's like we have to do what we can because they're going to get junk food outside of that. Okay, what would you like to share with our Faster Way audience as we close about your work at Faster Way, about your diet and exercise, about your supplement intake?
We talked about my supplements a lot. All of them. Let's see what
Final
else.
thoughts for our audience.
Yeah, I do work for Faster Way behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, you didn't actually share what you do.
But yeah, so I'm still a director of finance, so I still pay all the bills, basically. I'm the only one with access to the bank account, which is nice. I know you've heard a lot of horror stories about financial people.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, it is nice to have someone who I trust doing all of the payouts and the payments, because that's one less thing I have to worry about. I've had more colleagues than you would think who say, oh my gosh, I had an accountant come in or a CFO and they stole money from the company and da-da-da. And then I brought in another person and they stole money. Like, it's actually crazy. So that's peace of mind for me. You also update my financial spreadsheet every morning. Very first thing I do before I roll out of bed is I look at the financial spreadsheet to see our revenue gap, and then I can work on closing the gap. What else do you do?
I'm also in the workouts with you on Mondays.
Yes.
And I lead our men's workouts.
You lead our men's workouts for the Faster Way fellas. I have yet to do one of your workouts or watch one of your workouts.
They're so good.
I have got to try one sometime.
You'll be so motivated.
I bet.
So buff.
I bet. All right. Well, thank you, Brandon, for joining the Faster Way Coach Confessional. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat, and we wish you all the health, wellness, and boosted immune system this fall. Bye, everyone.